And welcome once more to User One Retro, and I thought I would do something a little bit different for this video. I know I was going to do a video on Rise of the Robots and the Mega Drive, but I'm psyching myself up for that one because the game is utter shite. You know, I played it a few weeks ago, and just after I bought it, and it reminded me of how crap it was. So yeah, I'm just psyching myself up for it. I know, as I say, I know I promised it, but no, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to basically just go through just a few of my Mega Drive collection and basically show them off, so to speak. You know what? I'm going to start off with this first one. Now, this one, I know many people look down on reproduction games. But you know what? To be honest, I don't mind them. I don't mind them because basically, as we all know, with the state of retro gaming, there are many games that are like over 50 quid, sometimes into like the hundreds and even to near enough £1,000. And mainly, in some cases, that is just driven by greed. As I say, I don't agree with it. And I know some people say, yeah, but that's just because you want to buy the game cheap. Well, yeah, you know, if you go back 10, 15, even 20 years, you could pick up many of these Mega Drive games for, what, a fiver, a tenner? Even the ones that are worth quite a bit now, you could probably have got for about 15 quid, you know. And I think it's mainly due to, you know, people just artificially inflating the prices. You know, so with this first one, I was happy to get this for just under a tenner, and it is actually a pretty enjoyable game, and it's Ristar. Having played a bit of this, as I say, I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I paid a tenner for it. You know, I mean, with the reproduction games, it's actually the cover art just there. You know, so that's how you can tell that they're a reproduction as well. And in some cases as well, the cartridges, the labels are a bit longer, and you've got little notches cut out of them as well. So, but yeah, normally that would be about 80, 90, maybe even more, and I paid just over a tenner for it. I mean, as I say, it's a reproduction. I've got it for my collection, you know, and yeah, I would like the original, you know, who wouldn't? But I just refuse to pay over 100 quid for it, you know. And it's the same with this next one. And I got this through recently, and I've had a couple of goes at it, and it is pretty good fun. The option screen is very, very weird, and it is the Ooze. And again, I paid just under a tenner for this, you know. And again, you know, you've got the cartridge just there, you know, and yeah, that is the front cover, you know. I know, as I say, some people say, well, why don't you just, instead of buying them, just buy the more expensive ones? No, as I say, I only get the ones that basically go for quite a bit, you know. I only get those on reproduction. But this next one, it is another Blue Label game, and this one is an original. And I did play this one a while ago, and I forgot how good it really is. And it's International Superstar Soccer Deluxe. We had the original International Superstar Soccer for the Super Nintendo, and it was buckets of fun. Really, really good fun indeed. This is this is pretty much, as I say, this is the deluxe one, and the deluxe one was also released on the Super Nintendo as well. But no, it's a football game, you know, as with many other football games, you know, kicking a ball about against 11 other men. But no, I enjoy this one. I enjoy this one, and I think I got it pretty cheap as well, which I was quite happy with. And it comes with basically everything, you know, cartridge and instruction manual. Even though the instruction manual, the front cover isn't in the best of conditions, it doesn't bother me. It's complete, and I'm glad I got it for the price that I did, you know. Now, the next three in my collection. The first one I got off of a Facebook group, and it is in, I would say, very good condition. There's slight water damage on the back cover, but you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I think I paid 10-15 for this, and that was including postage. We've even got the Sega sticker on it, and it is Duel Master. This is literally the first time I've ever owned this game. I had a go of it as soon as I got it through the post, and it's good. It's really good. It's basically, it is a run and gunner, but instead of you having guns, you have duels which can do different spells like fire and water and all this, that, and the other, and it is good fun. It's hard. It is hard, but it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable for what it is, and for the price that I paid, I'd say it's well worth the money. It's a very good game. Very good game if you can get hold of a copy. I'd say definitely play it if you haven't played it. Now the next one, originally I played it many years ago because my brother-in-law actually had a Sega Mega Drive and he had a copy of this, and I got this for, I think it was just under a tenner, complete, mint as minty as could be. In fact, I even put this in my pickups video. And it's Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and it came out around about the time the film came out, with Jason Scott Lee in the title role of the ill-fated legend that was Bruce Lee. It's basically your basic one-on-one fighter, but you can actually have 1v2 as well. It's good fun. It's very good fun. And I think basically you need a 6-button pad to get the most out of it, I would say. So basically all 6 buttons do different punches and kicks, you know, different strength ones, pretty much a bit like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. But I mean, the fact that you can use a multi-tap as well, so you can play against 2 other human opponents, I think that's pretty awesome, you know. I mean, I do highly rate this one. I really do. It's good fun. It looks great. It sounds great. It does play well, but it's just a bit on the hard side. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, a bit on the hard side. Now, the 6th one is yet another football game, and I had this originally back in the day. I think I did. Yes, I had it back in the day, and for some reason I couldn't get on with it. So I thought, you know what, I'd get it again, and I think this was a fiver off of eBay or something, and it's got the instruction manual. There's a leaflet in there for Incredible Hulk, and it's another one that I showcased on a pickups video, and it's World Cup USA 1994, or World Cup USA 94, the one without England in it, because we played like a bunch of nomads and basically couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a banjo or whatever. Navigating the menus in this is pretty difficult, I must admit, because you haven't got the names of the menus underneath. Instead, you've just got this ball and it goes over the different pictures and you have to decipher what the pictures are. I think I really should read the instruction manual to find out what the menus are. I think I might have got into one game eventually, and it was pretty hard going. I think all these years of playing FIFA in like the 3D realm has kind of spoiled me a little bit, and now I can't play these kind of games for love nor money. But something I do actually want to try and get back into. You know. Right. Now, I'm going to move on to 3 Electronic Arts releases that I added up recently. And giving them a go, they're actually pretty good fun. And the first one is complete with the manual and the cartridge. And the manual's just falling out the box because it hasn't got the clips to hold it in place. I think this is going to be one I have to get some boxes for definite. And it is Rolo to the rescue, if you didn't see from when the instruction manual decided to do a Steve McQueen impression. Basically, play as an elephant, you have to go around saving the animals. Now, the main thing is that you can switch between these animals at any time. You know, so if there's stuff over water and you can't let Rolo go near the water because it's instant life lost. So when you save a beaver, the beaver can go in the water and you can get all the pickups that are there. And it's the same with a rabbit. You can switch to the rabbit to get higher in the treetops to get loads of like bonuses and stuff. Now, so there's a little bit of strategy involved. But it is really good fun. Well worth picking up, I feel. It's got some cutesy graphics, and it looks like RoboCod actually, or James Pond actually makes. Yes, that is. Does make a little cameo appearance in the game as well. It's done by the same people who done the James Pond game, sorry. But it's nice to have like a little cameo from him in now. The graphics are really cutesy. Music's pretty good. Gameplay's very good indeed, as I say, with having to switch like the animals and all that. I'd highly recommend getting this one and adding it to your collection. It's well worth the money that I paid. Really is well worth the money that I paid, because I got it in a 2-game bundle with this one, and it's LHX Attack Chopper, and it is a 3D combat game, I suppose you could say in the vein of Thunderhawk on the Mega CD and the Commodore Amiga. And this one comes complete as well with the manual and obviously the cartridge. The box is a little bit broken on the inside, but you know what, as I say, I can get some replacement boxes, so that's not a problem whatsoever. Yeah, it's a nice little 3D polygon game. Plays pretty fast as well, and the main thing is you can switch between, you can select at the beginning of a mission between the LHX Attack Chopper or the Apache AH-64, I think it is. And the first time I actually played it, I picked the Apache, and I ran out of weapons straight away because I was blowing up everything and sundry. It was hilarious. It was like, nope, I've run out of missiles. Oh, that's absolutely bloody great, you know. But no, good fun, very good fun, very fast graphics as well. Well worth picking up. Well worth picking up if you can find it cheap. Now, the next one, I've actually got this on the Amiga, and again, it's complete with the instruction manual. The case isn't in the best of conditions again, but you know what? After playing it on the Amiga and and loving it, even though some people call it nothing more than a glorified tech demo. I've got the second one on the Mega Drive, so I thought, you know what, I'll get the first one as well to complete the two. And it is Psygnosis Shadow of the Beast. I adore this game. Absolutely adore this game on the Amiga. The music was just sublime. Graphics were just amazing. Very tough, very difficult game. And it even is on the Mega Drive as well. But it still looks great. It's still, even with the Mega Drive sound chip, instead of like having sound like the Amiga, the music is still good. Not as good as the Amiga one, as the Amiga version, sorry, shall I say, but still, it is very, very well, I think well worth picking up. I do. I really, really do. It's just a great conversion of the Amiga original. Now, the next one is a recent pickup. In fact, I got it through today and I had a quick go of it. And normally, I am shockingly poor at American football games. In fact, I'm very poor at American football games. But you know what? This one has intrigued me for so long. And I think I've even got this on the ZX Spectrum. In fact, yes, I do have this on the Spectrum. In the Tangerine Trilogy, along with Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters and Klax. And it was just as hard on that. And you know what? It's very, very hard. Very, very hard game indeed. If you know a bit about American football, it'll basically help you here. I know naff all about American football. You know, I do like watching it because I do like the fact that when they get tackled, they go up flying higher than, you know, Superman in his underwear. But of course, the game is Tengen's Cyberball. Now, this was reprogrammed by Sega for the Mega Drive. Again, I had to go with it earlier on, and I'm just as shit at it as always. Although I did manage to throw a pass to my quarterback, or my linebacker, or my running back, whatever it was, and I did manage to get a good 50-60 yards, you know, before I was literally bopped to the ground. But no, it's got some pretty good graphics. It's got some good music. It's just pretty difficult if you don't know anything about American football. But I'm glad I've got it. I'm glad I've got it in my collection, you know. And it's one that I will be going back to, and basically seeing how far I can get with it. Now, this next one is cartridge and instruction manual only, and again, it was one that I got today, and I paid about £9 for the instruction manual and the cartridge. And I've literally just noticed that on the back there is a void if removed sticker for warranty, which I've literally just noticed. I don't know if you can see that just there. See? And it is, of course, Batman Returns. Now, I do love a good Batman game. I really do love a good Batman game. The graphics in this are pretty good. Music is pretty good, but it's just a little bit on the difficult side. I mean, I can't remember what difficulty I had it on, or even if there was a difficulty level select. I can't remember. But no, I got to the end of the first level and basically there would be times when Catwoman would do a backflip and not hurt me, and then there'd be times when she would do a backflip and it would hurt me, and it's a little bit uneven with that in that respect. Hang on, there we go. And no, it does make it a little bit harder. But having said that, it's okay. It's not bad for what I paid for it. I mean, other copies go for like 15-20 quid complete in box. I was happy to get that for that. And as I say, with some of the other like games that I've got, I can just get the replacement boxes, slip the covers in, you know, and you know they'll be nice and minty fresh. Now, I do have a huge sack of Mega Drive games. Don't be disgusted. And I'm going to showcase just a few. Just a few. Now, what ones should I showcase? What ones, you know what? I'll do that one. I'll do that one. And that one. I'll do that one as well. And I will also do them two. This is just a small smattering of some of my cartridge-only games. I've got some over in the States as well, and I will be taking these over with me when I go to visit my wife again, you know. So, but the first one, again, is cartridge and instruction manual only. I have cleaned up the cartridge contacts. I do that with every single Mega Drive game that I get through the post, because there are some where the cartridge contacts get so dirty. I basically use like a 70% rubbing alcohol and a cotton bud, you know, and then I'll just go over it and it gets it off absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. And also do that with some of my other cartridge only games as well, like for the Super Nintendo, for the NES, for the Game Boy, for anything. And I'm glad I do. I'm glad I do, I must admit, because it does make them look a lot better. But no, this game, I have got this on the Amiga in a couple of different versions. And it is Sensible Soccer. Now, this is just the normal edition, the European Champions edition. There is an international Sensible Soccer as well, which is a limited edition one, and it's quite hard to get hold of. Well, it was when I last looked. Otherwise, I would have gone for that as well. But no, I've got Sensible World of Soccer on the Amiga, and I've got the same version of this one on the Amiga as well, which is like the standard version. But for some reason, I found this version, this Mega Drive version, a bit easier to play than the Amiga version for some reason. I don't know why. I suppose because the Amiga version was programmed with joystick in mind, you know, and playing with a joystick is quite difficult. With a joypad, you literally just use your thumb to move your player on that. But yeah, I had a game of that, and who was I? I can't remember. I think I might have changed one of the teams to Spurs. Oh, Spurs! And yes, I played against Arsenal. Horrible rivals. And yes, I beat them 2-0. I think it was just a normal friendly. Just beat them 2-0. And I must say, I really did enjoy it. You know, it is a really good football game. You know, when you've got the age-old question of what one do you prefer, Sensible Soccer or Kickoff, I'll always go to Sensible Soccer. I think it's just a lot more fun. You know, it's a lot cuter. There's a lot of charm to it. Whereas for me with Kickoff, I don't know, it just seems a little bit, I don't know, it's hard to explain it, but I just don't enjoy it. I just don't enjoy Kickoff whatsoever. I tried it on the Amiga once, and it was impossible. Didn't enjoy it whatsoever. But Sensible Soccer, I could play till the cows come home. I really could. But that's worth getting for your collection if you can find like a cheap copy or something. Or even if not, you know, get a complete in-box copy. Now this one, I didn't pay a lot for, even though it does go for a bit more. I think complete in box copy is like 80-90 quid, and I think cartridge only was 45. This was a bargain price of 17 quid, and it's True Lies. And the reason why it was cheap is because the seller said that they couldn't get it working. But if you listen, that is one of the capacitors wobbling about in there. It's not been soldered in properly. It does work. I managed to get it working. I have played it and I enjoyed it. I think this is possibly one of the last great movie to game conversions there is. I will be soldering the capacitor back in place. I mean, yeah, the label is a little bit iffy. You know, it's not in the best of conditions, but you know what? Until it's actually falling off, and you know, I'm happy with it as it is. I've got a spare case I can put it in there. So, but for 17 quid for a game that's worth a lot more, I literally robbed the guy. But it's a good game. It's a really good game. Now the next one is a Japanese. It's a Japanese game, and it's also known as Super Kicks. I think it is like QIX, and I've got the original Kicks on the Game Boy. I think it's a lot of fun. It's very, very good indeed. I'd say it's one of the Game Boy's best puzzle games. I'd say it's a puzzle game. And it was also released on the Amiga by a German programmer, and it was called Bally 2. And I used to love playing it back in the day. Used to have a lot of fun with it. And it was very good for a public domain game. Very, very good. Very enjoyable. And this is the Mega Drive version, and it is called Volfied. Volfied? Or Volvive? Volvive? Super Kicks, you know. But yeah, the original Taito cartridge. As I say, this is a Japanese version. This was also released in the United States as well. I think under the same name, or it might have even been called Super Kicks over there. I can't remember. But no, this is a fun game. Very, very fun game. You know, basically controlling a little ship, and you have to basically take over parts of the screen and all that, and trying to avoid the bad guys so that you get more of a percentage of the screen. So it's basically it's like a battle like that. So there's no lasers involved in that, but it is very good, and very addictive. And I highly recommend picking it up. I really do. It's a lot of fun. And it's going to be a game that I feature soon, I think. Well worth it. Very well worth it. Now, this next one is based on a TV series from Universal and Amblin Entertainment, and it starred Rob Schneider as the captain, and also the late Jonathan Brandis, I think, as his son. I can't remember the rest of the cast, but I do remember the TV show actually being very cool. It was very cool, and it was really good. I remember it actually being on, when was this? It was 1995. And yeah, I do actually remember it being on ITV on Saturday mornings, I think it was. And it was good fun. It was really good fun. I wouldn't mind seeing the series again at some point soon. But the game is called Seaquest DSV, and it's from THQ. And it's basically you have to control the Seaquest over an isometric undersea landscape, fighting against other submarines, and basically going to find like nuclear material and fighting off bad guys and all that. It is pretty hard. It is really hard game. I played it for a little bit, and basically before I'd even got to the first nuclear material retrieval mission, I think the sub's energy was down to about 65%. But when you get to a certain part, you have to basically go in something called the crab or something, and you have to go along and you fire out like a missile every so often, or a bolt or something or other, and then you have to go and find like the nuclear material. Good graphics, good sound and good music. A little bit difficult in the gameplay. And again, it's a game that does go for quite a bit. I was lucky to get this for, I think it was just under 12 quid, including postage, just for the cartridge. And I'm glad I did, because it's a game I won't revisit frequently, but I will revisit it every so often. You know, it's not bad. It's worth playing for a little bit. Now, this next one is another Electronic Arts game. The cartridge isn't in the best of conditions, and it is an American import, and I think I paid about 16 quid for this off of eBay. I did have a go at it, and it is pretty good fun. It really is, and it's Normie's Beach Baby-Rama. You start off in the prehistoric age, and you have to pick up different weapons as you go along to fight the cavemen and the dinosaurs and all that, and you have to find different things and that. Graphics aren't too bad. I think back in the day, I think this was reviewed in Sonic the Comic, or it might have even been Sega Pro or Sega Power or something, and I think it only got some like 60-odd%. But I think it's better than that. I think it's easily about 72-73%. Again, it's not a game I'll revisit often, but when I play it, I will enjoy it. Graphically, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Music's pretty good. Gameplay's pretty good as well. And the sound isn't too bad either. It's enjoyable for what it is, I think. Okay, so the final game that I'm going to be showing you from my Mega Drive collection is a game that I literally got for a steal, and I mean an absolute steal. I mean, I don't even know how much the cartridge goes for. I think it's like some 70-80 quid. It might even be more than that. I mean, because fully boxed versions go for a bit more. And I think I got this for about 7 or 8 quid. I think I was pretty much the only person bidding on it, and I think it's because of the cartridge label. It's not in the best of conditions. It really isn't in the best of conditions, but the game works. I'm quite happy I've got it, and it is Spider-Man the Animated Series. And as I say, I know that cartridge label is a bit on the funky side, but you know what? For about 7 or 8 quid, I'm not going to complain. I really ain't going to complain whatsoever. It's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. It is pretty hard, but then all games back then, even on the Amiga and the Spectrum, were rock hard. But it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable, and it's a nice little addition to the comic book, or to the Mega Drive comic book collection, of which I've got the Incredible Hulk. I've got the Batman game from the 1989 movie. You know, I've also got the first Spider-Man game that came out as well, and I've got Spider-Man versus the Kingpin, sorry, on the Mega CD. So I'm glad to have that for the collection. And as I say, with all of my cartridge-only games, I'm going to be getting some universal cartridge boxes, printing out, or even making my own inlays, like the ones I showed you in a video from when I was in the States, you know, of like creating my own inlays and stuff like that. So I'll be doing exactly the same with all of these ones that need boxes or loving homes, and I've even still got some cartridge only games left in there, like Strider 2, Jurassic Park Rampage Addiction, where the I don't know, Radical Rex, Back to the Future Part 3, and yeah, so, and I've got many other games as well that need homes as well. So I'm going to be getting, as I say, some more cases of doing so, and doing my own sleeves as well. But no, I hope you enjoyed this look at part of my Mega Drive collection. I love the Mega Drive. I always have. It was the first console that we had. That me and my brother shared between us. But I would be the one who would always like get games for it, and then in the end, it just became my console. I've a lot of fond memories, hell of a lot of fond memories, playing Mega Drive games back in the day, and even of Christmas '92. I think yes, it was Christmas '92. Of getting the Sega Mega Drive 1 with Mega Games 1, the first Sonic the Hedgehog, and also Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that was released on Sonic Tuesday as well. Many fond memories of that. And fond memories of my dad absolutely go, well, that's some pretty good graphics, isn't it? You know, you know, I mean, there'd be times when he'd sit there and he'd watch us, like me and my brother, like play football games and all that, and he'd get right into it. You know, never used to like playing games, but used to like watching them and that. You know, especially like playing football games. There's one memory I do have. Me and my brother played International Superstar Soccer on the Super Nintendo. He just got in from work. We was playing it, England versus Germany. And he sat down and he said, like, who's winning? You know, and I said, like, I was winning like 1-0. And my brother came back. He was playing as England, drew 1-1, and then all of a sudden he just did a shot from the halfway line and lobbed my keeper and won the game 2-1. I called him all the names under the sun. My dad couldn't believe, like, that he'd actually done it. It was great. It really was. And it's just, you know, I love the Super Nintendo, but I love the Mega Drive more. You know, it's got more of a place in my heart. You know, first ever console that we played. Got the Mega CD 2 for it, and a small smattering of games. But no, I've got a lot of love for this console. And there are so many fantastic games that have been brought out for it, and that are coming out for it as well. You know, you've even got the limited run, and even the strictly limited runs of the original Japanese games that never got a Western release. They've been localized for the US and the UK, and they're being re-released. I've got Glaylancer on the way, and there's like a few other ones that I want to try and get as well, like Gaez. You know, absolutely cracking games. And and then you've got the homebrew games coming out as well. You've got games that never made it to the Mega Drive, like Final Fight. Yeah, there was a version for the Mega CD, and it was nigh on Arcade Perfect with like remixed music. But there's a version coming out for the Mega Drive soon, and it aims to be Arcade Perfect. You know, Final Fight met on the Mega Drive from the arcade. You know, it would take a CD add-on to have an Arcade Perfect game, but you know, I can't wait for that one. I'm so looking forward to it. So looking forward to it. And many other games as well, you know, that are coming out soon. Especially shooters. I love my shooters. You know, I mean, I've got all 3 Thunder Force games for the Mega Drive. You know, I'm gonna have to try and find them, and I'll showcase them if I do like another Mega Drive collection video. But no, as I say, I hope you've enjoyed looking at these games, and you know, hopefully it's made you go, oh yeah, I remember that game, or yeah, I remember that one as well, or oh, I haven't played that one. I'll have to try and like get a hold of it. You know, it's just an awesome console, really awesome console, and I'm glad that I was there from the very beginning. I really am. Same with the Amiga, same with the Spectrum, same near enough with the Super Nintendo as well. You know, and all those consoles there from the very beginning. You know, and it's games like this that kids should be introduced to. You know, like couch, like 2-player couch games, like International Superstar Soccer again. you know, or even Cyberball, um, you know, or one-player games like Comic Zone, or Where in the World or Where in Time is Carmen San Diego, where you learn about different cities and you learn about different times and all that. So they're educational as well as like a sleuth game. You know, they're fantastic games. They really are. You know, and then you've got the absolutely excellent Skitchin, which is basically Road Rash on rollerblades, and it's a fantastic game. I can't praise Skitchin enough. You know, that's one game I think people need in their Mega Drive collections. If you haven't got a copy of Skitchin, get it. Get a copy. Buy a copy and have it in your collection. It's amazing. It really is amazing. So, but anyway, I've waffled on enough about my love for the Mega Drive. As I say, I hope this inspires you to look into like getting a Mega Drive, getting some Mega Drive games, or even if you've got one already and you want to bolster up your collection, into having a look and seeing what's out there. You know. So, but anyway, that's it for this episode. The Rise of the Robots episode is coming soon. I promise. As I say, I'm just psyching myself up for it. Um, but no, until the next episode of User One Retro, I just want to say thank you very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to see you all soon. So until then, this is User One Retro saying goodbye for now.